Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well. This video is second lecture of my 14 days beginners to advanced level pivot table course. Here you can see I have a data containing information of some clients and some products. I am assuming that these clients have been purchasing certain products from my company for the past few years. So let's first convert our data into Excel table. To convert it into Excel table, place your cursor on any text-filled cell, press Ctrl A and then press Ctrl and T. The dialog box will appear. If your data has headers, then check this option My table has headers and click OK. Now your information is converted into an Excel table. Whenever you add new information into this table, the pivot table will accommodate it as soon as you hit refresh option. Let's generate a pivot table from this Excel table. Click on any text-filled cell, press Ctrl A, go to Insert, and here in the left you will find the option of pivot table. Click on it for now, uncheck it, otherwise you won't be able to use many pivot table options. Click OK, and here you see your pivot table field bar in the new sheet. Let's give it a name. I am going to give it a name pivot table. In today's lecture, we are going to see how each client has contributed in revenue generation. I am not seeing any revenue option in my headers field. I can easily calculate it by multiplying the units sold with cost per unit. But in order to apply formula, I have to go to pivot tables analyze option. I am seeing the field items and sets option grayed out. The reason is that I haven't put any of my fields here. So let's put some fields here so that we will be able to work with this option. Let's put products in raw section and units sold in value section. Now you can see my field items and sets option has been enabled. Click on it, go to calculated field section. Here you have to type the name of field. I want to see the revenue, so I am going to type here the name revenue. Select units sold, click insert field, then insert asterisk which is used for multiplication in Excel. Then select the other column that is cost per unit, insert field, then press add and click OK. Now you can see my revenue field has been added in my pivot table options. I don't need sum of units sold, so I am going to remove it from here. Drag the clients in the raw section, and here you can see the revenue generated by each client for the past few years. Here I am seeing the revenue in terms of sum, but as I intend to see the contribution of each client in revenue generation, so I prefer to convert these values into percentages. For that purpose, click on any cell in the pivot table, right click on it. Here you will find the options show value as. From here, select percentage of grand total. And now you will see the revenue has been converted from sum to percentage. Let's sort this data to see which client has contributed a lot in revenue generation for the past 4 years. Right click on any entry in the pivot table, and here you will find the sort option. Go to it and let's sort it Z to A. So here you can see C3 has contributed a lot in revenue generation with the highest percentage of 3.35%. In order to remove unnecessary labels, select those labels, and in Pivot Table Analyze tab, you will find the option of field headers. Click on it and your unnecessary headers will be removed. If you wish to contain grand total, you can keep it, otherwise you can remove it. Go to Design tab, and here you will find the options of grand total. Click on it and select Off for rows and columns, and your grand totals will be removed. It is a better idea to see these results in chart. But what chart are we going to use? Remember, whenever you deal with percentages of any single entity, it is always a good idea to use pie charts. Let's click on any cell in pivot table, and here in Analyze tab, you will find the option of pivot charts. Click on it and let's select a pie chart from here. I am going with this chart, okay? Click on it and press OK. Here you can see the base of my pie chart. In order to make it visually appealing, we have to perform some formatting on this. Let's remove these buttons first. For removing the buttons, you need to go to value section. Here you are seeing sum of revenue. Click on it and in the pop-up menu you will find two options: hide all field buttons on chart and hide value field buttons on chart. Select both one by one. First select hide all field buttons on chart and then I am going to use hide value field buttons on chart so that all the buttons existing on my chart have been removed. Now the next part is to do some formatting. For that purpose, double click on chart. So you will see a format chart area field appears on the page. Here you have different options. We have chart area, chart title, legend, plot area, series total in chart options. Let's begin with legend. Do you know what is legend? Legends are basically the text that are appearing on your chart. Here you can see the three bars icon. Click on it and here you will see different options. The first option is legend position. If I click on top, you can see my legend option has been shifted to the top of the chart area. If I select bottom, you will see it will shift to the bottom. Similarly for left, right and top right. You can choose any option that you feel appropriate. For now, I am going with the bottom option. Moreover, you can change their appearance. Go to this painted bucket tab and here you will find different options like if we go to fill, then you can see I have different options. If I go with solid fill, you see the back of my legend has been filled with color. If you want to see like that, but in order to change the background color, you can change the background from here in the colors option. Here the blue has been selected. We can select light orange as well or whatever you like. If you want to change the transparency, you can lighten the color by moving this bar. Okay. If you want to add border, you can also add the border around the legend. But for now, I don't want any border and I don't want any color. So I am going to do no fill and no border. Okay. So this is our legend. If you want to keep it, you can adjust the position, and if you don't want to keep it, then you can simply select it and delete it from the chart. Next we had option of chart area. Okay. Chart area is different from plot area and I tell you how. Chart area is basically this complete background that you are seeing in white. If you want to change its color, you can select any color and you can change the color options from here. Okay, like I have selected yellow and you are seeing yellow here. If you want to add border around this white area, you can simply select any option from here, but I don't want to select the border for my chart. In order to lighten or darken the hues of color, you can use this transparency bar. But now I don't want any fill color, change it to white. Next we have plot area option. So plot area basically represents a small square surrounding your pie chart. So if you want to add some effects within that area, you can similarly do that. You can change color of that area or in the similar way you can add some borders if you wish to. But I don't want to do these changes. I am just showing these options to you so that you are aware of the fact that what changes can you make to your charts. Give it a title. Okay, now I want to remove this border line. It is looking quite bad. Yes, plot area and I don't want the border, so I am going with no line. So yes, that is looking great. Now the next part is to add labels. For adding the labels, let's click on this plus sign and here you can see different options: chart title, data labels and legends. If you want to make any changes in legends, you can click on the arrow and here you will find different options for the position alignment. And but now I want to deal with data labels. Once I click on data labels, you can see labels have been appeared in my pie chart. But I don't want the data labels in that format. Let's click on this arrow, and this is giving me the options for the position. Let's move to more options, and here we see the options for color and border change, but I don't want them. Let's go into the triple column bar icon, and here let's go to label options. Here you can see different options for labels. Like I don't want to see the value that is appearing here 3.35%, 2.78%. Rather, I want to see the category name. I want to see the client name. Let's uncheck the value, and here you can see as soon as I check the category name, my client names have been appeared in different sections. Let's select their position. Inside and I think is a better option. If I choose its center, then it will become cluttered. Outside and will also make it cluttered as soon as more times will add on in this chart. So let's better to use it inside chart. Okay, you can use any option that looks appropriate to you. The next part is to change the position. Click on the pie chart, and here you will see the angle of slice option. Now let's rotate it and bring the C1 on top. If I slide it here, you can see the pie chart is rotating now. I want C1 on top. Let's slide it. So you can see my C1 is on top now. And then we have options for pie explosion. Pie explosion basically split your slices into small slices. So instead of applying it on the whole pie chart, let's do some experiment with it. In this graph, we are seeing that C3, C6 and C7 are the highest contributors in revenue generation. So instead of making changes in all the slices of pie chart, let's make some changes in the slices that are representing highest contributors to make them stand out from others. For this purpose, you need to double click on a single slice. If you feel that all your pie chart is selected, then place your cursor on one slice and again double click on it so that this slice will only be selected. Now I want to apply point explosion only on this slice. When I slide the bar, you can see my slicer is shifting away from the other group. Let's make it reasonable. Let's do some changes in C6 slicer as well. Click on it and also give some explosion to it, and then click on C7 and provide some explosion. So here we have separated our highest contributors from the remaining group. Next, I want to see their labels in some different format than others. Click on labels, then double click again on the label to separate it from others. Click on bar icon, and from here choose value as well. Okay, and let's change its size. I am going here on home tab, and from here I am going to select 11. For C6, let's select value as well and change its font size to 11. Similarly for C7, select the value and change the font size to 11. Similarly, you can change the color of slices, individual slices as well if you wish to. Go to painted bucket icon, and from here solid fill, I am going to change the color to dark green as it is my highest contributor. For C6, I am going to choose a bit light green, and for my third contributor, I am going to choose light green. And for the lowest, that is C2, I am going to choose the color maroon, and for my next lowest, that is C5, I am going to choose the color orange. Then for C1, I am going to choose the color golden. And for C4, let's change it yellow. In the similar way, you can organize your pie chart as you like. Now our next task is to move it in a separate tab. For this purpose, click on chart, right click on it, and here you will find the option move chart. Click on it and here select new sheet and press OK. Now your chart will be moved to next sheet. Here you need to make the changes again, like my font size is appearing quite small, so let's give it some density, and from here we can choose the font size and we can also choose the color of text. Let's make it white. You can also drag the labels manually by clicking on them so they will look more appropriate, and moreover you can change the style and font of title as well. Let's make it a bit bigger, and I don't want to see the legend because my chart is self-explanatory, so I'm going to select it and delete it from here. This is how you format your pivot charts in Excel. Let's see if we add some more information in our data. Let's suppose some more clients have started purchasing products. Let's give them the name C8 and C9. Let's write East and West, and let's change the products P5 and P6. Let's write a bigger number so that we can clearly see the impact. I'm going to type here 20.1 and here I'm going to type 5 lakhs. This is just an arbitrary number because I want to show you the impact. If I use here small numbers like this, then you will not see much impact or much change in your chart. That is why I am using bigger numbers here. So you can see I have added some more clients information and some more products information in my data, and I want this information to be added in my existing pivot table. Once you are done with the changes in your source data, go to pivot table, click on any of its entry and right click, and from here you have to press refresh. Now you can see the information of our new clients that are C8 and C9 have been added in our pivot table. In the same way, you can add more information, and whenever you want to add them in the pivot table, you just have to click on refresh. Now let's see what has happened to our chart. Here you can see some fields have been added. Let's bring it inside. This is due to white, I cannot see it. So you can see C9 here and C8 is added here. Now I can see C9 is also my biggest contributor. Although it is a new client, it has made a very good purchase in recent months. So in order to change its label and slice color, I can make changes. Double click on label. So you can see the label options here. Click on value. Now it has become similar to other slices. Let's change its color as well. Go to painted button icon, and here I am going to use again a green color, and let's use here this option. So you can see that any information updated in your source data can easily be updated in your pivot tables and pivot charts. You may need to redo the formatting like I have done for this piece of information, but it makes your life quite easier as you do not need to perform same operations on the new information over and over again. So in today's video, we have learned two things. The first thing is how we can find the biggest contributor in achieving any information, you can say sales target or revenue generation in terms of percentage. And secondly, we have learned how to generate pivot charts from pivot tables. So we have learned about creating a percentage chart, that is your pivot chart, in today's section. Tomorrow we will see how can we generate percentage charts if we have information spread over multiple years. So in that case, we are not definitely going to use pie charts, but we will see some other forms of chart that will serve the purpose. And if you like the today's session, don't forget to hit like If you are new to my channel, then do subscribe to it so that you can benefit from the upcoming videos. This is all for today. Thank you for your time. Stay blessed. Have a good day.